And I'm just going to pretend like I'm talking to everybody, not just you guys. So welcome all you guys all to our call. And I just want to tell you guys that I really appreciate you guys being on live, by the way. I know that it's hard to make time in your schedule. It's hard, I know because it's hard for me, even if I'm the one hosting the call, to make time in my own schedule to get on. So I just want to tell you guys that I really, really appreciate you guys being on. So thank you. And I just want to mention, for not necessarily for you guys who are on this call, but for everybody, even if you're catching the replay, I just want to talk about Summit really super briefly. I've been thinking a lot about it and how to best describe it and why it's important in your business, because it is an investment. It does cost a lot. I was looking at flight, and they're expensive to New Orleans and more expensive than they are to Nashville last year. And while I think here's the thing about it, I think going to Summit and just doing that is not going to move your business forward. But if you go to Summit and you take the stuff that you learned and you apply it, then it's really going to help you move forward. Now, can you catch all that stuff on YouTube after? Yeah, they put the stuff up on YouTube. But I also think that I'm not sure I would have built the team that I've built without going to those events. Like, I'm not sure I would have attracted the people that I've attracted who want to work the business without going and posting and sharing. Not that I think people sign up just because they've seen me go to Summit, but I think the culmination, like the buildup of all the different events that I've gone to and the things that I've done to move my business forward, is a reason why I've built the team that I've built. So I'm just going to say that. With that being said, I know there are reasons people can and can't go, and I'm not saying that you cannot build a solid business without going. Because I know even on this call there are people who have decided not to go, and I think that everyone needs to make their own personal choice. But that is kind of my feelings behind Summit. All right, so let's move on. We are on, what are we on, the 21st of May. Hopefully you guys are kicking butt in your goals this month and whatnot, and you're feeling good about your power hours and what you're doing behind the scenes to make things happen. If not, make sure you reach out and let me know, and we can, get you going. I love our message thread. I think everyone in this group is in it. I hope you guys are enjoying that. I know I like it, and I like that you guys can kind of answer each other and bounce ideas off each other, and I think that's super helpful. And one thing I think we kind of missed out last year on is that sort of team feel that we all joined for. I think the first couple of years we really were going strong with that on Team Alive, and then last year I think for whatever reason we all were sort of like little planets orbiting and doing our own thing, and I want us to kind of come together and work together. So with that being said, let's talk about spicing up your challenge groups, because I don't know about you, but challenge groups get stale and boring real fast. And if we feel it, chances are our challengers feel it as well. And before I start, I just want to say that you are only, for challenge groups, you are only responsible for just so much. You can bring a horse to water, but you can't make them drink, right? It's the same with your challengers. You can make the best, most kick-ass challenge group. You can implement every single thing that the best coaches do. But if somebody or a few people aren't ready to take on this program, to take on changing their lives, they're not going to do it, no matter how awesome you are. And make sure that you don't beat yourself up over that. I think we often we're often like, well, why can't we get these people to get transformations? And if they just follow the 21-day fix, they'll lose that last 10 pounds and they'll look amazing, and I'll have their before and afters and blah, 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 blah. They'll make the best coach. We can only do just so much for people. And I honestly think that if people are ready, that's when you're going to get the best challengers, and you almost have to wait for them to be ready. So here's what I have for you. I do think you can kind of nudge them along without pushing them. And here's where I think the best challenge groups begin, is before you even get them in the challenge group, okay? First of all, and here's how you're going to kind of build the best challenger for your group, and thus your group is going to be amazing. So nudging them along. I think it's so important to not push people to buy. And there's a difference between following up with them and answering questions and pushing. And if we push someone to buy, if we offer, and guys, I am guilty of sort of going after people because I need those last 2 successful points, or I need whatever I need. You know what I mean? Like, we've all been there. I'm going to offer this big incentive. I'm going to do this, that, and the other. And sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. I think that the best thing is to just be there for them. Keep showing up on social media. Keep showing your before and afters. Let them know that you are going to keep doing this whether or not they buy. Right? Like, you are going to be there. You're going to be showing up on social media. You're going to be getting before and afters. You're going to be doing your workouts and posting your food pictures and doing your thing, whether or not people buy. And when they're ready to join you, they will. And then you're going to have the best challenger that you could ever want. Okay? Let them know you're there for them, right? You're messaging them. You're sending them recipes, whatever you are, keeping that relationship going. It's not just a sale. The second thing I think that is really important is getting their goals. Once they bought the challenge pack or this is Shakeology or whatever that is that they bought, I think the best challengers come from the people who you have the best relationships with, the people who you put the work in behind the scenes. You don't just throw them in a group and kind of run with a mass, with the whole group. I really think I have noticed a difference between the people who I've worked with behind the scenes and taken time to get to know them and their goals and everything that they want out of this, compared to the people where I sell the challenge pack, I put them in their group, and I do everything in the group. I've done it both ways. I think the best way is behind the scenes. I still do those posts in the group. What are your goals? Post your before and after pictures. What do you have to eat? I still do that all in my group. But I really think that they are much more comfortable participating in my group if they have shared all that stuff with me behind the scenes. Okay? Somebody said once, the work begins after the successful point. Some coach said it. I think it was in the March Dash. I don't know. I don't remember. The work begins after the successful point. Like, how eye-opening is that? Because how hard do we work to get those successful points? And then we think, okay, I got the points. I'll put them in the group and I'm done, right? Or whatever. I'll check in with them here and there. The work really, like, the best challenge groups come when I put the work in after I've made that sale. And, I really know what they need from me, and they know what my expectations are. I've kind of laid it all out for them, and they've laid it all out for me. Like, I question the bejesus out of people, even if I sometimes don't get the answers. I keep, making sure that I'm talking to them and asking them questions and trying to figure out what they want. And I sort of lead with those kind of questions, like we've been talking about a lot, those action-based goals rather than those outcome-based goals. So I don't just say how much weight you want to lose. Like, I think you got to break it down for them, because anyone can say I want to lose 5, 10, 15 pounds, but people don't know how to do it. Heck, I know these programs work, and I still feel like I don't know how to do it, right? It's hard to do. And people can say I want to lose 5 pounds, but they don't really know how to do it. So asking them, well, how many times a week are you going to work out? When are you going to have your little cheat? Are you going to have any cheats? Do you have your snacks packed? What are you having for dinner? All that kind of stuff gets them thinking and gets the ball rolling, and then you can pinpoint to where they're making their mistakes. Because you have those people who come to you after 2 weeks and they say, well, I haven't lost any weight. Yeah, or I got on a scale and this, that, and the other, right? We all have those people, and you're like, That's when you can go back and say, well, did you do your 5 workouts that you said you were going to do? Did you stop eating by 8 o'clock? I ask people what time they go to bed. And if they go to bed at 10, I'm like, you should stop eating by 7. If they tell me they go to bed at 12, stop eating by 9, whatever it is. That's when I'll say, well, have you been able to stick with your routine of not eating at night like we discussed? And that's where that stuff can come up, and you're going to get those challengers that really do kick booty. And then they're going to know, too, that you are going to hold them accountable. So when they do come to you and say, I haven't lost any weight in 2 weeks, you can go back and bring all that stuff up to them. Now, this is like perfect scenario. It doesn't always happen like this. We all know that, right? Okay. Once you have them in the group, here are some of the ideas that, some of the things that I've found really, really help. I think the more comfortable they are, the better the group goes. And I think if you really think about what your mission statement is for your group, you can better create the community that you want. For example, my goal, I really want, now, oddly enough, I've had a couple men come to me lately, but I really want to create a community of women, mostly moms, who can lift each other up and help everyone feel comfortable in their own skin, whether it be, you know, size 10 or size 0. It doesn't matter as long as you're comfortable in your own skin. And that's sort of my mission statement for my my groups. And I want people to kind of get to know each other and become friends and, you know, hopefully maybe friend request each other and support each other, right? Like that's sort of my goal for my groups. So once I have that mission statement, we can kind of back up and figure out what we want to get in those groups. I always have my people introduce each other. I'm sure you guys do too. One thing I can't take credit for this, but this is something that Jen McNeil brought up, and she thinks she got it from Jatana Jackson, who's one of a big coach in the network. That helps create a community is one of the first posts to introduce is she takes a picture of herself, and it's not like the most beautiful picture. Like I did this today, and it wasn't a beautiful picture, just a sweaty selfie. It was after a workout, whatever. And introduce yourself. And then I kind of share, like, what are my struggles? What am I nervous about? Where do I lack confidence? What am I looking forward to? What am I kind of not looking forward to about this group? All right. And then I kind of say, like, one thing I'll probably do in the future, I had already done this, so I didn't do it in my post today, but I kind of tell them my expectations of the group. You know, I want them to check in. I want them to eat 90% clean. I want them to set goals and stick to them, that kind of stuff. And then I ask them to do the same thing. And I want the group to be about them. So I want them to post a picture of just them. Like, how often do we share a picture of us with our kids or with our husband? Like, I want to see the person who's in the group. Most of my people are women, and we hide behind our kids. Not all hiding, but most of the pictures are of us with our kids, right? I think as coaches, we can have more pictures of ourselves. And I want to see a picture of yourself. And then I'm going to tell them to friend request each other and kind of get to know one another. And I think this is where that suggestion is going to be, friend request each other. Another thing that I've done, some of you may have been in this group, is I partner people up based on their goals, maybe how old they are, how many kids they have, that kind of stuff, if they're working, if they're not working. So I partner people up within the group so they can get to know each other, really like fostering that community. I also think being vulnerable yourself really helps. I think it does help to be your very best challenger. I'm going to talk more about this, but being in that group, doing it along with them, it's hard, but I think it works and it helps. But I think we're not perfect, so being vulnerable as well. That's not to say every day or, you know, every couple of days we're like, oh, I messed up. Like, we're the coach. Yes, we should keep ourselves accountable to some degree, and if we're asking them to do it, they kind of expect us to be doing it too. But sharing, I shared this morning that my biggest struggle is overeating, even if it's healthy food. Just being vulnerable in there so they know that you're human too. Okay, a couple of mistakes I've seen and that I've made too is scheduling your post and then forgetting to be present. I mean, how many people, I know I've done it, like the post gets scheduled and then I forget to get in there. A couple of suggestions for this: making a check-in schedule for yourself. So write down everyone's names on a piece of paper and making sure you're going through and checking in with them, you know, every Monday night, or maybe 4 on Monday and 4 on Tuesday and 4 on whatever. Making a schedule for yourself so you know you're checking in with people. I think sometimes too we forget to check in with people who don't check in, and I think that's where a check-in schedule can also come into play. When I have a group going on, the first thing I do when I sit down at night to do my Beachbody work, and I'm going to be honest, it's probably one of my least favorite things to do, is get into my group before I even check my notifications or my messages, and I respond to everybody's check-in. I absolutely hate when I get behind. It's so hard to go back in there. When we were on vacation in Punta Cana, there's like 2 days where I forgot to get in there and respond to people, and going back and doing it, and I noticed people neglecting to check in, probably because I was not responding to their check-ins. So making sure that you do that every single night and just being present in there, it really, really helps. We get busy, we get whatever, we have messages coming in, we have posts check, we have Facebook scrolling to do, but getting in there and being super, super present makes all the difference in the world. For like 2 or 3 months, maybe even more than that, back in the fall, I was posting in live time 100% of the time because I felt like I was scheduling too much and I was forgetting to get in there, and I was neglecting relationships. When you neglect relationships in a 5-day, I don't fill my 21-day group. When I neglect relationships in my 21-day group, I don't add my coaches. And that's where, it's important to be there for them. But on the business side of things, that's where I really see myself fall behind. When I struggled with Success Club, it's because my 5-day wasn't in there building the relationships in the group and outside the group. In the 21-day groups, when I strive to add 3 to 4 coaches every month, if I don't do that, it's probably because I kind of lacked in my 21-day group. So that is sort of, I think that's super, super important, is scheduling the posts and forgetting them. You got to get in there. And I also think another mistake that kind of goes along with this is requiring them to check in and then not checking that check-in. And I think that's one of the reasons I took away the must check in by noon tomorrow or whatever. We used to do that a lot in the 5-day groups. I stopped doing that for the reason because I wasn't getting in there by noon and checking them. And that's not fair to them. And the same with my 21-day group. I feel like if I say you have to check in, now I don't kick people out for not checking in, but it's part of my expectations, and I'm not in there checking them, I feel like that's not fair to them, right? It's like when you were in school and the teacher would require an assignment to be done by like Tuesday, and then you wouldn't get it back for like 4 months. You're like, what the hell? Like, you had it, it was due on Tuesday. Like, you should have it back to me in a reasonable, same kind of thing. Okay, let's talk about live videos, because I think there's some,
Katie,
yes.
can I interrupt for a quick second?
Sure.
So, you're still using Facebook, right? You're not using the challenge tracker for 21-day?
I'm using Facebook.
Okay, so Jenny and Nicole and I are running a 21-day on the challenge tracker.
Okay.
And you guys know that I just converted a customer over to me. She was with somebody else for the last 9 or 10 months. And she messaged me that this group is like nothing she's ever been in. Every group she's ever been in there's been 4 people and total, including the coach. And it's been much more active and much more interactive. But she's not used to, it's been run on Challenge Tracker before, but she's not used, because we're doing the daily check-in and the Shakeology / workout check-in. Jenny and I have been running groups for a couple months now, and Nicole just joined us this time. So do you think that we need to do that, like the daily check-in as well as the, the Shake-O / workout? Because she questioned that, why are we doing both? She's not, she doesn't have a problem with that, but she said she's never seen that before.
I mean, I think it's up to you. Are people checking in the check-in?
Yep.
I would probably leave it.
At least for this group, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I think that the Shakeology and workout check-in are awesome. I think they keep people on track. I love that about the challenge tracker. But I think the check-in is sort of a coming together of the end of the day. And
I told her it's just giving her extra accountability. There's, it's just giving her that added piece, And
I mean, like I said, I don't require it for my 21-day groups, but it's an expectation kind of thing.
Right.
And you always have people who don't do it. I mean, right? We all have people who don't do it.
Oh yeah.
So if someone said it was like she said, I'd say, use it if you want to use it, but if you don't, if the other's enough for you, then that's okay too. That's probably what I would say.
Yeah. She never had that extra check-in. She's never been in a group where there was 5 or 4 to 5 questions. This is all new to her.
Speaking of, do you have anything else before I say something else?
I just didn't want to forget that little statement. So,
Megan Page shared a check-in that she's been doing, and I love it. Ashley, that it's an emoji check-in. You guys, Like, to say it's changed challenge groups is an understatement. And I'll share it in our event after this. People love it. And so I did it for 2 months in a row. And then because I have repeaters, I try to switch things up. So I went back to another check-in, and I lost half of them checking in, which is so bizarre to me. I can't even tell you. And it's easier to go through and respond because they're responding with emojis. So you're just like boom, 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 quick response. They're not necessarily, sometimes people write stuff, and that's okay if they do, but you're not reading a book for every single chat. I mean, because no offense to people who write a book, but you know what I mean? You don't want to be reading a book for like 20 people every single night. I'll share it afterwards. I won't go on and on, but it's her. She shared it. It's amazing. So I'll share that in the event. I think it definitely has spiced up my challenge groups, that's for sure. All right, so live videos. Let me just say this too, that what works for me might not work for you. What works for this person might not work for somebody else. So here's what I have found with live videos, and then I'm going to give you some tips that I learned from some of the leaders in Team Phoenix that I think are amazing. I'm going to be implementing as well. Okay, so what I've learned from live videos is that I don't get a ton of people watching mine. I don't know if I'm a huge bore or whatever, but I find myself, I don't want to watch people's live videos too much. Like, even when Megan goes live in Team Phoenix, I know she's probably going to have something awesome to say, but if I look and see it's like 20 minutes, I don't have 20 minutes. It's so hard to find, right? It's hard to find that time to sit down and watch. So I try to take that into account with my challengers, because they don't have time to sit and watch me jabber on for 10, 15 minutes. So I think if you're going to do a live video, I think they got to be short. They got to be to the point, and you have to have something of value. It's just like on your profile page. If you don't have something to share with people, like going live, I think it hurts you, to be perfectly honest, both in your challenge groups and outside of your challenge groups. Since we're talking about challenge groups, I'll stick with that. If you don't have something of value that they're going to be like, wow, I'm so happy I listened to that, I don't even bother going live. I really think it's more of a negative for me. That's what I've discovered anyways. So if you're going to do them, I think short and to the point and move on. And I think it has to be about them and not necessarily about you. I think we're all so tempted to share so much about ourselves. And while I think we should share about ourselves in some degree, I think challenge groups are about them. And I think we really need to keep that in mind when we're doing really anything in our challenge groups, but when we're doing these live videos, making it about them. Okay, so here's some ideas I got. One is a daily workout move as a live video. Like, I love this. I can't wait to try it. So for example, like a planking, like maybe going live in your challenge group, either in a 5-day or a 21-day. I think it could work with both, and doing a plank and holding it for as long as you can live for your challenge group. I mean, I think that's fun. And then asking them to do it too, and either snap a picture or post their time or whatever. And then you're not going on and on, and they're seeing you doing something, and it's a short one, a push-up, anything really, squats. How many squats can you do? I think that's really fun. I'm going to start that one soon. I think it's so hard to give a time, but I think giving a time you're going to go live is really important too, so then people know you're going to be on. Although for me, I don't feel like it's really helped me that much. Even if I give a time, I don't get a ton of I personally don't get a ton of interaction on mine. Maybe people go back and watch it, I don't know. But okay, so that's what I've got for live videos. You guys can kind of take it for what it is for that. I think someone else said that they go live for like 30 seconds every other day and just check in with their challengers, so they're seeing them face to face. Maybe that would give them sort of a, let them get to know you more. I think it is important for them to get to know you. I mean, maybe just saying, she says she goes live like when she's cooking dinner, and just says like, hey guys, just want to check in. I hope you guys are drinking your water and getting your workouts in, and I'm making this for dinner, and that's it. And then she gets off, like she said, like 25, 30 seconds. I mean, that's another idea. I think I like the workout move better, but give it a shot. I kind of want to end this by saying, if it's not working, I think we change. And I think our team has done that. And I posted something last week in Team Alive, like what's worked, and all these different really fun groups you guys posted. I think that our team has done a really good job of kind of adapting. I think our clean eating groups kind of slowed or whatever, for whatever reason. I think everyone sort of come up with some creative ideas. One last thing I forgot to mention is for me, something that's really helped is having some kind of a cute theme that speaks to me. My themes that I've been doing lately have been ones that it's a group that I would want to join. It's like a theme that I would want to see and join. And I think that's really helped people. And then within the group, I do something with that theme, something small. All right, I'm going to end that and ask who has questions, comments, anything they want to add. Anyone?
I would just say when I'm running my groups, that's like all I think about and do. Like I check in with them. I do my check-in with them every single night. I keep a tracking system. I congratulate people publicly within the group for doing their check-ins. So I'm actually, my 30-day this month is the same group of ladies I've been working with since January. They keep rejoining with me.
Nice. That's great.
The trouble for me is I got to get some new people in there.
Yes, and I think that's good though. I'm happy to hear that it's going well and you've got some good systems going on and whatnot. Cool.
Obviously, they like you, Becky, so they want to keep working with you. But
well, they're ladies I've known for a long time, so they like that I actually kick their butt and hold them accountable. I don't let them get away with anything. That's why they join me.
Okay, it's good. I don't let you get away with anything either. Right?
Anyone else have anything that's working or any comments, questions?
Hey, this is Angela. Sorry, my video's not working.
That's okay.
But so what are the themes that you've done that you talked about? And also, has anyone in here done, I think Megan's done a morning group. Has anybody done one of those? And can you tell me what you did?
Yeah, I want to hear about that.
Jamie, right?
Yeah, so I did kind of like a modified Miracle Morning one.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually told them I didn't want them really in the group during the day, that they should do check-in in the morning because I would post something and then check-in in the night. And I kind of, it's important that you have read Miracle Morning. So I kind of ran through, I did a live video just talking about the morning routine that you should set up, and that incorporated exercise. And I gave them a couple different workouts. One was stretching. So if they have not done any kind of workout, I just wanted them to do stretches in the morning. I gave them, 2 other different workouts to choose from. And then, I told them journaling, affirmations, to read a little bit. And not everybody did the full run through, but at least they did bits and pieces to kind of start the day. And then their check-in had to do more with the, reflecting on your day, and it always incorporated something positive. So I think that it was I would kind of change it up because it was my only time, and I didn't focus on really nutrition. We talked about hydration and I shared some recipes, but it wasn't a true clean eating one. I would do it again. This week I did a true clean eating with the squats and smoothies, which was really good. But I think the biggest thing is just holding them accountable. The past 2 months I've been much more strict, and especially if they didn't check in, I messaged them a reminder and then kicked people out. And there was only 1 or 2 people that I kicked out that, we kind of talked through after that. But I gave people that push, that, oh yeah, I have to actually follow through, at least with the check-ins and staying tied into the group. So I think that's the biggest thing. I don't even think it's our themes, honestly. I think it's being in the group, you know, being thorough and actually giving like detailed feedback on their check-ins, like not just, hey, good job, but kind of asking more questions based off of their responses is what I've been trying to do to kind of continue that dialogue.
Cool. I think she maybe got kicked off. I can share some of my themes. I was talking about themes for my 21-day group. I'll share them in the event as well that she was asking about. Anyone else?
Hey, Katie.
Hi.
This is Ashley. But so in my current 21-day group, I haven't scheduled any posts. And it's the first time I've done it. Normally I schedule posts because it's easier with working during the day. But I've actually found that it has like created more conversation and more like natural, organic, like connection between my people than if I was to just continually schedule posts, because it's made me more active in the group. So it's probably something that'll continue until I forget one day or something.
I found that with when I was doing that as well. I know it's not realistic for everyone. And when I did move back over to scheduling my posts, I committed to getting in there and posting throughout the day, something that like you're saying, maybe if I have something, and then like I said, every night getting in there and checking in. But absolutely, you're right. I think like being so present is key. And if you're gonna, and it does take some work, but I agree with you there.
Yeah.
But I do.
I schedule all my posts. I have to because my weeks are so busy. I'd rather schedule it and not forget to go in, but then I also go in through the day and I'll post, if something strikes me, I'll post it, or if I get an idea or I see a cute recipe, I'll post it. So I have kind of a mix.
And I think that's where I'm at too, Ashley. I think I did it for a bunch of months, and it definitely helped. And it helped get me back in the habit of being in there. And I think that's, what it takes. And now mine are all scheduled. Actually, to be honest, I do get in my 5 days in post, but my 5 days look a little different. I'm not posting as much. My 21-day groups, it's all scheduled, and they've been very good since I've been in there. I don't know. I think it's a theme for me, the goals behind the scenes, the setting the stage in the community, and being present for me. Some of the stuff. All right, guys, I'll post the rest of the stuff in the event. We have less than a minute. Thank you guys for being on. Thanks for your questions and comments. And, it's hard when you're like, okay, let's give some time and nobody talks. So I appreciate you all. And I'll see you guys later. Have a good night.
Thanks, Katie.
Good night.
Night.